Okay, welcome to the first PhotoKey 7 Pro tutorial. I'm going to launch PhotoKey Pro 7 by double-clicking the icon on my desktop. When it starts, I'm going to click File and New Project, and we're coming to the first screen showing a canvas in portrait. And if we have a look over here, we see a button marked aspect where you can choose between landscape or portrait. However, with the settings that we have at the moment, if I was to click on landscape, as you can see, nothing happens. The buttons are unresponsive. The reason for that is because under presets, it is marked here as background. You can choose various presets here, and if you choose foreground or background as the presets, you will take your aspect ratio from the image that you import. For example, preset as background, you import a landscape background, you'll end up with a landscape canvas. If you import a portrait background, you'll end up with a portrait canvas. And the same as if you did it on foreground. If you brought in a foreground picture that was landscape, your canvas would go to landscape. If you brought in a picture for your foreground that was portrait, you would end up with a portrait picture. If, however, you want to, you can click on custom, and then the buttons become active and you can change between landscape and portrait. However, now I'm going to go to as background, and I'm going to go to the import button here, and I'm going to open a folder which I have already prepared with background images in it. And I'll bring this across here. You can see I've got a pile of background images, and if I click on the background tab and bring in a landscape image into here, you'll see that has automatically changed to a landscape picture. If I was to right click on it and click remove, yes, and then go to backgrounds and bring in a portrait aspect ratio and drop it on here, you'll see that this automatically changes to a portrait. Now let's start adding some foreground images. If I click on foreground, go back to my images here and have a look under green screen, you can see we have some pictures here, and I can bring in a foreground picture. There we have it, and there we have the picture. Right, now if we want to resize it, we go to position, right, and there's different ways of positioning and resizing it. There is scale here and positioning it horizontally and vertically, or you can actually go to the picture, and if we go into the middle and these things appear here, we can resize with this, moving the mouse button backwards and forwards here. And if I went onto there, I would rotate it, which I don't want, but we do have a reset button here if you make a mistake, so we can resize it to whatever we want, and we can drag it to wherever we want to put it. There we go, and as you can see, we have the image here. We can resize it a little bit more if we wanted to, and there we have our green screen background. Now here we have something in the picture that we don't actually want. Alright, it's probably the lighting from the photographers, and if we've got anything in the image that we don't actually want and we want to remove, we can go to masks, and we can choose to add a mask and click create, and what you simply do is you just put dots around it. As you can see, it's disappeared. We can add another mask, alright, create, and we can get rid of this writing here which is there warning you it's just a sample image that you can't use, and there it has gone altogether. Go look at it from a canvas point of view. There's our finished image. Quite quick, quite simple. Let's go back to the import again now, and we will remove this picture. We'll remove the picture by right clicking and click remove. Yes, and let's bring in somebody we all know and love, and we'll bring in a picture of Peter and his good wife. Here we are. This is what I wanted to show you here. Everything has gone semi-transparent. Let's position him first. Yes, you can see his face has like completely disappeared on this one, and it's not a good look whatsoever. So what happens here is, if we go to key, your key of your background, and this is how you would pick a key, by the way, you would click on it and it would say, right, get rid of all the green, but for some reason it's picking up that part of his jumper or face or whatever might be clashing with the green, so we have to go to these sliders that we have here, right, and make some adjustments to try and, there we are, we have his jumpers back. Why is I know why his face is probably out. Probably if I go to the masks that I created, I've still got my masks here, haven't I? So I want to remove these masks. There we are. The masks were in they shouldn't be. So if I go back to the key for a moment, as you can see, when we first opened the picture, his jumpers were transparent. So if they are, we can go and adjust this hue balance, and as you can see, he's got his jumpers back. And if I wanted to add some new masks, try and get rid of his carpet a little bit there, or these lines here. Oh, and by the way, there's a couple of lines here, and if you missed them, you couldn't see them, you can go to foreground or background, and you can hide the background temporarily so that you can see any anomalies. And we go to the masks, right, and we'll remove mask, and we'll add new masks here. Let's get rid of that one, and we'll add a new mask. Let's get rid of that one, and we could add a new mask. Let's get rid of that one, and we can add a new mask here. Add a new mask. We've got rid of that bit, and so on and so forth, and you can start to build up, and we can go to put the background in, and you can see we've taken away a bit of carpet here, and as you can see, we're starting to get a finished photograph. Okay, now when we've got a finished picture and we want to export it, the first thing I did was click on here and try to export it, but this doesn't seem to work. It seems to be for batches, so we'll forget that and go to, up here we have File, Export Canvas, right, and as you can see here, we can export the picture, click Save, I'm going to overwrite it because I've already done it once in trying, and you'll see now that we have the finished picture. Okay, I think that about completes our tutorial. Okay, let's have a look at this photograph with Pete and his wife in the foreground and the arch as the background image, and I'm now in the key tab of the software, and what we're going to do to try and stop this from being transparent, we're going to have a look at these sliders and options. First thing I'm going to do is change to auto high, try that. I try auto classic, see if any of those improve, and they haven't really made a lot of improvement. I'll try this adaptive colour. It doesn't seem to have made a lot of difference, so we're going to try the hue balance. We pull that down, that's made some improvement. We'll move this balance slider, that's making things worse. Gain, right. Let's have a look at that. Is that before? So probably about there's probably about the best on that. So right, that's about as far as we can do with those top sliders. Let's have a look at things that we can do lower down. Let's have a look at this spill suppression. Let's have a look at turning that off. Now there we have a big deal of improvement. As you see, big deal of improvement. There we go. So we've turned off that spill suppression, and that's made a lot of difference. Okay, yeah, that seems to just about have done it. Right, we can have a look at these sliders again, see if they make any difference. Okay, so that looks about the best of it. This light suppression, we have a slider on it where we can improve it, where we can adjust it, and I think that seems about the best we've got there. Let's have a look at yes, that seems about the best we can do there. And I think that just about covers that. So the next thing we will do, we will export this picture. So if we go up to here and click export, no, that's save, sorry, I'm on the wrong one. File, export the canvas, right, and this is just saving it on the desktop, and we can save it as a PNG, or we can, it looks like PNG seems to be the only option there. PNG seems to be the new kind of format for JPEGs. If you worry about it being PNG and you want it to be a JPEG, you can convert it to a JPEG from PNG quite easy. So let's save that, and we will go and take a look at this picture. There it is. We'll open it up. So there is the finished article. If you wanted to properties, as you can see, it's 28.3 megapixels, so it's quite a good high resolution. If you wanted to convert it to a JPEG, we could simply open something like Earthly View, File, and we can go to Open, and we can open that, and we can go to File, and we can save it there as a JPEG. The other way we could have done it was open it in Photoshop as well. Open with Photoshop Elements 14. And we could just easily save as a JPEG or any other file that we wanted to save it at. That ends this small tutorial.